kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa mkulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Hello there, this is Farm Kenya show right here on KTN. You're wondering what I'm holding? This is a tray with seedlings, and today we'll be learning about seedling propagation. We'll be looking at onion and tomato. We'll be looking at what you as a farmer at home can do, the how-tos from when you're putting the media, which is what will hold the seed, up to when the seedlings come up and ready for transplanting to the shamba. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Let's get right into it. All right, thank you so much for joining us, Alice.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's get right into the conversation and look at seedling propagation for onions. So when it comes to onions and the seedling propagation for this, what should a farmer look at? The first thing.
First thing the farmer should look at is the variety of the onions. We have different varieties like the red coach, Neptune. Also the climate of where you're planting the onions, your soil. You need to take your soil first for soil testing so that to determine what your soil lacks and to supply during the planting period.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at the soil. Tuangalie the media. Ni nini ambacho mkulima anafaa kuangalia so that at least at the end of the day akileta seedling yake ina thrive kwa hiyo media.
Okay. So for the media inafaa kuwa inert. By inert we mean it's free from everything. For example, for us we use Net-Agro media. Net-Agro is free from diseases, pests. Okay. It doesn't have nutrients. So for example, if you compare the Net-Agro to the soil has a lot of diseases and pests. That is why we encourage farmers to use inert media. Yeah.
Okay. Na sasa ukiangalia the inert media yenye unasema that they have to have for a farmer mwenye ako home kwa nyumbani ana watch, ni nini ambacho anaweza weka kwa soil yake in order for it now to be ready, kama maybe haezi pata the media that maybe you guys are using, ni nini ambacho anaweza weka so that at least their soil iko ready to receive the seedlings?
Okay, we use fertilizers, and also when the seedlings are grown we can use foliar, and also for the farmers who prefer organic they can use the manure, the normal farmyard manure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Sasa tuangalie the types of onions that you've mentioned, and then you tell us which ones are thriving better than the others, especially in this Kenyan environment and also the soils that we have. Yes.
For the onions, we have the hybrids and we also have the local varieties. Some of the hybrids we have include Neptune F1, Red Coach. We also have the Red Creole. All those are hybrids and they are better compared to the other local varieties. Although some farmers, due to their climates, they prefer the local varieties like the Super Red. Those ones are not very productive compared to the F1s, but they also still do good. And the farmers also compare the price ya mfuko. Naona wengi hawataweza kuafford the bei ya kitunguu ya F1. So wata prefer kutumia the local varieties. Yeah.
All right. So na vitunguu ambavyo tunaona kwa soko, the bulb ones, zile ambazo huwa tunaona because they are the most popular I think that we have, and also the spring ones. So when you look at these types of onions, are they also able to be grown in such a setting?
Yeah, they are able to be grown in such a setting because kitunguu inahitaji joto first ndo ibulb, pia maji, spacing yake inafaa kuwa poa ndo bulb vizuri. The more the spacing, the more the bulb. Na pia the fertilizers. So in a controlled setting, it's better because you'll have to control the water, rainfall, the nutrients you put, rather than ikiwa nje.
Okay. And now that you've mentioned very important things, water, the temperature and also the environment. So let's start with the environment first of all. So environment that a farmer is growing their seedling in, how is it supposed to be? And when it comes to the kind of, because I've seen the seedlings zimekuwa elevated from the ground. So the science behind that also you can tell us, so that at least someone can understand what is going on.
Okay, the elevation, here we are using, you can also do the ground one, but here we are using the modern techniques. So these modern techniques, it's less tiresome compared to kitambo, but it still gives the correct size of the seedlings for transplanting. It gives us the pencil size of the seedling for the onions for transplanting. So the elevation is to reduce compared to outside. Kukinyesha, mvua inanyeshea and all that, seedlings zako zinaweza bebwa, the seeds ukishamwaga zinaweza bebwa na maji. So ukiraise hivi utaweza kucontrol mwenye anaweka maji asimwagilie vibaya, ndo seeds zake zisipotee. Pia hii unaweza jua the number of seedlings you have, because per tray utapanda ukicount. You can plant 5 per hole and you will be able to have a proper record of your seedlings. Yeah.
Right. So that is especially some part of the environment as well. And when it comes to cleanliness of the environment, how do you clean this farm of yours? And how does that help into the growing of the seedlings that you have?
Okay, first we ensure there are no weeds, because most weeds contain pests, kama white flies. So when the white flies get into your seedlings, they will cause a lot of damage. And we ensure that weeding is done. We ensure that everyone who works in the greenhouse washes their hands, sanitizes, and also we don't allow people in the greenhouse because they might be carrying pests from their farms, especially farmers. Yeah.
Right. And now let's look at watering, because watering is also a very integral part, especially when the seedlings are coming up.
Okay.
So how do you schedule your watering? Do you maybe schedule once a day, or how do you water the seedlings first before even them now maturing to a state that they can now be transplanted?
Okay. For watering, it's very crucial because you can't just water anyhowly. So first we check the media. You can just press and check the moisture. If it's moist, then you'll leave it until it dries so that you can put more water. But it's very crucial, the watering is very crucial before the seedlings sprout from the media, because if you don't put it, usipoiangalia vizuri haita sprout. Yeah, so the watering is scheduled maybe twice a day. You can say in the afternoon and in the mid mornings. Yeah, that's when we do our watering mostly.
Okay.
But we don't do it when it's when it's rainy. We minimize the watering. And then when we are hardening them, we leave them to dry so that when they go to the farm, they will be used to the external temperatures rather than the greenhouse temperatures that they'll face.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, when we look at a seedling that grows under the greenhouse, what are some of the challenges when now, especially an onion seedling has grown under the greenhouse and now it's being exposed to the outside, the way you've said, hardening them. So when it's now exposed to the shamba, the normal shamba that is exposed to the sunlight and everything else, what is it that a farmer needs to look at when they are transplanting the seedling from the greenhouse to the shamba?
Okay, first thing, they need a quality seedling. A seedling that doesn't have any blemishes, maybe brown spots. You should look for that first, because that means the seedling is already affected with maybe a disease, maybe a pest, and it will not survive. The other thing, when the farmer transplants the seedling, you should consider your watering, because this condition, compared to the outside condition, it's different. So when you take your seedling, make sure you water the first days, put your fertilizers, schedule your watering like twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, so that the seedlings can thrive. And also when you're taking the seedling, for the onions it should be a pencil size, not so small and not so big. Yeah.
So from the moment that you've put the media on the seedling hole and you've placed the seedling there, how long does an onion seedling take in order for it now to even come up?
To come up from the soil,
Yeah, from the medium.
from the medium.
Yeah, from the media. Yes.
Oh, it takes around 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now when it's mature enough to be transplanted, how long is that?
That is 4 to 5 weeks.
4 to
in the
5
nursery.
weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges, especially when you've planted a seedling and maybe they are not, the 3 weeks have come or the 4 weeks have come and nothing is, that tray is just flat. There is
Okay.
nothing that is there. So what could be the cause of that?
Maybe the seedling varieties. So that's why we have to make sure that our seed supplier is a legit one, so that we can have the quality seeds. So that if a seed, for example, is expired ama imekaa sana, it will not be viable to come out of the media. Yeah.
And now, still on that, when farmers are looking for seedlings, what shows them that that's a quality seedling to use? That's the best seedling to use. Like, what is there in that packet of maybe seedlings or in that seedling that shows a farmer, okay, this is certified or this is the right seedling for me to use?
Most farmers trust maybe a certain company to provide them with the seeds. So you'll check on the date of the packaging, the expiry date, and also the KEBS warranty. Yeah.
Okay, so those are very important for
Yeah.
farmers to look at. Okay, so you've spoken about all these things. Now it's the 4th week and your seedling is mature enough to be transplanted to the shamba. What is the procedure and how do you carry them in order for them to be, you know, the same way they were even when you put them in the shamba?
Okay, so when the seedling is about 4 weeks, it can come out well from the media with the media at the root piece. So we just pull them and then pack them in a box, which we ensure it is well tight so that it can reach any destination at Kisumu, Mombasa, tutatransport hadi ifike.
Okay. And what is the challenge when it comes to transplanting? What have you encountered before when it comes to transplanting that maybe affects a seedling from when it's from the greenhouse to the shamba? What challenge do you usually maybe come across or maybe that you've experienced that maybe you've been able to come out of?
Okay, maybe sometimes we are affected by diseases like the downy in the onions. It has affected us for some time, and that's, you have to be keen with the spraying program of the greenhouses. Because if you skip, let's say a fungicide, then hiyo ugonjwa itaingia na kitungu yako inaweza isha yote. Then another challenge is when you're uprooting, zingine zinatoka bila mizizi. So ukienda kwa shamba, yo definitely tu itakufa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And on the diseases and the challenge especially of the disease that you've mentioned, what are some of the common diseases that onions or the pests and diseases that usually affect onions, especially in the seedling type of level before they even go to the shamba?
Sana sana kuna downy mildew, utapata the tips zinaanza kukua brown. And then it dies back immediately. Some of the pests kama kuna aphids, kuna spider mites, kuna white flies, zote zinaweza affect kitunguu. Na sasa hiyo madawa zinakam.
Okay.
Alright. Ama hata before you notice, you have to use the preventive measures. Kupiga dawa before uone. Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned about soil testing. So about soil testing, and you know, soil testing usually helps a farmer know the pH and what is the best level for them to now put the seed inside the media. So soil testing, how important is it, and what shows a farmer that this is the right level, or this is the right pH in which I need to plant my onion seedling in?
Soil testing is very important because without it, you can't know the condition of your soil. So for us, we encourage farmers before they plant anything, the first step is soil testing. You can do the instant one that will show you the major nutrients that you are lacking in your farm, the pH, so that kama kitunguu inahitaji pH yenye si very acidic na si very basic, itafaa kuwa true neutral. So ukitumia pH yenye iko juu sana, kitunguu yako itachomeka yote. Na pia hiyo soil testing inakuonyesha the fertilizers that you need to supply your soil with for the seedlings to thrive in your farm after you transplant. So bila soil testing, maybe the success rate of your crops will be very low.
Okay. Na sasa ume mention fertilizer. Ukiangalia seedling state ya onion, how long should someone or a farmer apply fertilizer, and what would you advise when it comes to onion seedlings and fertilizers?
Okay, for fertilizers, after you take them, as we supply them with foliars here, so after you take them from us, from the second week after you transplant, you should start applying your fertilizers so that the germination, the process iendelee. Some of the fertilizers you can advise farmers are for example, for the planting, you can use the DAPs, and then you can top dress with the nitrogenous fertilizers. Yeah.
Okay. Alice, thank you so much for that insightful conversation.
You're welcome.
Now, don't go too far. We want to see and look at the process of making sure that you have a seedling at the end of the day. So we'll be doing that with Alice in the next few. Right, so now, right about now, we are taking it to Alice to show us how she fills the tray with the media and also places the seeds.
So, kwa kupanda, unachukua a clean tray. We have our media. So I'll fill this tray with media. So just pick a handful. Unaiweka kwa kila shimo. Make sure it's well filled. Then after you fill, tutatengeneza shimo. Hizi shimo ndo tutaekea seeds zetu. So after tumetengeneza shimo, we'll now have the onion seeds. This is how they look like. And per hole, tunaekanga kama 3 ama 4, 5. So you just plant. Make sure you put it in every hole. So tutapanda kwa tray yote. Nimesema per hole tunaweka kama 3 ama 4. So the reason why naweka 3 ama 4 ni juu ya ku maximize on space, na pia kitunguu tukiamua kupanda moja itachukua a lot of trays. Pia zingine zinaweza kuwa sio viable. So ukiweka 2 ama 3, that means zingine maybe hazita germinate. So after tumepanda kitunguu yetu, sasa tunachukua media, tutafunika lightly, ndo pia usisukume the seeds that tumepanda. So unafunika the whole tray. And then after tumefunika, sasa tutaiweka kwa nursery yetu. We will water and the process begins.
All right, so you've learned something, and I believe I've also learned something today, and how unaweka media in those particular holes in the tray and how you place the seeds. So Alice, unaweza tuambia when you are looking at the seeds zile ambazo unaweka kwa the holes, what should you look at? Does it mean that every seed is okay? And from how you pick the seeds, what shows you that this seed is good? You can just tell us about that.
So a good seed is uniform. It has no deformity. It haikai kama iko na blemishes. Yeah, that's for kitunguu.
Okay.
It's uniform, haijakatika. Yeah.
So a normal seed ya kitunguu, zile ambazo uko nazo hapo na the way you've planted them and placed them there, nini na kuonyesha, because umesema inafaa kuwa uniform. So nini inafaa kuonyesha iko uniform, and what shows you that that seed is bad?
Okay. For the bad seeds, zinaweza kuwa smaller in size than the normal ones. So kujua iko uniform, lazima zote zikuwe zinatoshana, zikuwe a medium size. Kama okay, si medium like medium ya sasa ya kitunguu. Juu kuna ile medium mezoea, but sasa kuna ya kitunguu, ya seeds za kitunguu. So it has to be medium. Ikuwe zote ziko like the same size. So ukipata yenye ni ndogo, that shows maybe iko na shida, haitakuwa viable, it will not germinate. Yeah.
Okay. So now, tuende kwa the process, of course, now of planting the seedling in the shamba. And because earlier on, before we even showed this process, we're speaking about now that the seedling is mature enough to be transplanted. Now, farmer akifika kwa shamba, what do they need to look at, especially in the shamba that now the seedling is here? How does a farmer prepare their shamba to receive the seedling?
Okay, for the seedling to go to the shamba, the seedlings have to be uniform also. That's why I said the pencil size of the seedling of the onion. So zote zinafaa kuwa that size, the pencil size. You also check the root system. It has to be a strong root system, and the roots zinafaa kuwa intact ndio iendelee.
And now, when it comes to now transportation and storage, what would you advise a farmer to do in terms of now they're ready for transplanting? They have harvested them today. They've removed them from the greenhouse. How long should it take for them now to take them to the shamba?
Okay, minimum inafaa kuwa 2 to 3 days. Ikipita hapo sasa kitunguu yako itakuwa imeanza kukua mbaya. Juu for long distances itaenda overnight, so that's 1, then 2. Kama utamaliza, you'll better take them as a bunch, uipande kwa soil, then you'll transplant them later. So that ndo isiharibike. Juu pia ikikosa maji, ita dry off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one last question, even as we go for break. Onion farmers, and you as an onion farmer, what do you think many farmers do a disservice to when it comes to seedlings, that the onion seedlings, that make them not to really grow the way they're supposed to grow, and also maybe have stunted growth, they're not maturing?
Okay, sana fertilizers, mbolea, tunasemanga sana eka mbolea, maji, hizo madawa, make sure umepiga, make sure you have a program for your farm. Ukikosa hiyo sasa utakuja tu, it will not be business as usual. Yeah.
All right, so Alice has shown us the process in which seeds are placed in the media, and also you've learnt a lot when it comes to the seedling, the onion seedling under the greenhouse. We're going to go for a short break, but don't go too far. We'll be back with more. We'll be speaking about another vegetable that I believe you'll want to stick around for. Welcome back. This is Farm Kenya Show right here on KTN, and today we are talking about onion, and I told you to wait for another plant that we are speaking about today. We are talking about tomato. Today we'll be looking at also the tomato seedlings and what you need to do at home, and also even if you want to be a large-scale farmer, and the nitty-gritties when it comes to that. And Alice is still here with us. Thank you so much for sticking around.
You're welcome.
All right. So, tuingilie sasa tomato. ikifika kwa nyanya, now that the prices of tomatoes are where they are, when you look at the seedlings of tomatoes, what is that thing that a farmer needs to look at? Because I believe tomatoes are a bit more delicate than onions. You'll tell us about that as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much. On tomatoes, the first thing you need to look at is where you're planting them. The soil, we start with the soil. Kila kitu tunaanza na soil. So is your soil good for the growth of tomatoes? Is it fertile? Is the pH okay? Yeah, we also have to look at the climate of the area. If the climate is too hot, too cold, nyanya ipendi baridi. Kipigwa na baridi sana, tapata ugonjwa. So the other thing we look at is the seeds, the variety sasa. Kuna varieties inafanya poa in different places. So ukipata kama hii variety inafanya vizuri Kiambu, maybe si the same inafanya vizuri tuseme Murang'a ama Kisii everywhere. So that's what we look at when it comes to tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at the soil and dig deeper a bit. So when you're testing the soil, as a farmer, what is that one thing that shows you that this is the best soil to grow your tomatoes in? Now that we've already seen that it's a bit delicate. Yeah.
The soil should be fertile, not too acidic, not too basic. Inafaa kuwa too neutral. Pia place unapanda ifai kuwa the type of the soil. Tuseme black cotton inapatanga a lot of flooding, especially during the rains, and that will cause a lot of damages to your tomatoes. Tuseme sahi wakulima wengi wameaffectiwa na floods, and they are undergoing a lot of losses due to the type of soil. Let's say, yeah.
And now that you've spoken about pH, not too basic and not too this other side. So what is the best maybe level, if a farmer is testing the soil, what is the best level that you can say is good for you now to place your tomato seedling in?
Okay, for the pH, you can take 5.5 to 7.5 pH.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anything below 5.5 or anything above 7.5,
It's too much.
Is too much. Okay. So let's come to the temperature.
Okay.
You mentioned about nyanya ikipigwa tu na baridi kidogo hivi inakuwa mgonjwa. So how do you maintain the temperature, especially in or inside a greenhouse?
So inside the greenhouse, the temperatures are mostly high, but sometimes you are affected by cold temperatures during the rainy seasons. So for the greenhouses, we have the roll-ups. So kukiwa na baridi sana, tunazishukisha chini. Ndo temperature bado ibaki ikiwa juu. Juu karatasi inaleta a lot of joto. Na pia kuna hizi shade nets. Pia zina minimize the temperature inside the greenhouse. So kukiwa na baridi, you can do away with them and let the polythene bring in as much heat as possible. Yeah.
Okay. Still now that you've mentioned the structure, let's look at the structure, especially when it comes to the tomato seedling. The structure that unaweka the tomato seedling under, ni nini inafaa kuwa nayo? And can someone say their greenhouse is basically going to be polythene, no rolling up the way you've done here? So what is it when it comes to the structure that is really important for the tomato seedling?
Okay, first we have the polythene, of course. Juu lazima kuwe na polythene. And most farmers wana prefer sides ikuwe na insect net so that juu ya kuregulate the temperatures. Kukiwa na joto sana, uta roll up the polythene, unabaki na insect net. The insect net ni hiyo ya white, inatusaidia na kuzuia pests kuingia kwa greenhouse. Ndio pia have to fight a lot of pests. Okay, you can also have the shade nets. The shade nets, kama sahi kuna joto, ina minimize the temperatures inside the greenhouse. Tuko na mbili, kama hii ya black na ya green. They are both, ziko na different degrees ya the temperatures that they allow. Yeah.
And still on the structure, from the where the tomato seedling has been placed and the roof of the structure, inafaa kwa what size? Is it supposed to be maybe, you see where we are standing and where the net is? Can the main roof be there? Will that affect the tomato?
No, it will not affect because there are different kinds of structures depending on whichever the farmer wants. Kuna wenye wanapenda gothic arc, kuna wenye wanapenda hizo za round. So it's whichever you want.
Okay.
It will not affect the tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's come to the tomatoes and tell us the types of tomatoes that you have. I know there's cherry tomatoes, there's the other tomatoes, the normal ones that we usually have in the market. So you can tell us the types of tomatoes that you have here and which one really do well under such conditions.
Okay. So we have different types of tomatoes. We have cherry tomatoes. We also have the normal tomatoes. For the normal tomatoes, we have the greenhouse tomatoes, the ones that do well in the greenhouses. We also have others that perform well outside. Yeah, those are basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for these normal tomatoes, okay, so what do you have here? Or what are we looking at here? These are normal tomatoes?
These are normal tomatoes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So for the normal tomatoes, when it comes to the seedlings, from when you plant the seed until now we are seeing it like this, a seedling that has matured, how long is that?
It's about 4 weeks. Yeah, it takes 4 weeks.
Or just same to the onions that we
yeah.
are speaking about?
Yeah.
All right. So what can a farmer look at when they are planting their seeds from the moment they plant until this time? How should they take care of the seedling?
First, we have the planting. Make sure you plant with the correct media. Correct media. You have the foliars. You have watering. You also have the routine management of the greenhouses. Maybe weeding, the spraying. Yeah.
All right. So, and in the management, especially for the watering, you can tell us how often the tomato seedlings need to be watered, and also the cleaning of the area around which the tomato seedlings are. How often is that supposed to be done, and how often do you do?
For watering, we do it mid-morning and early afternoon. Watering, you should check watering, especially sana ukipanda, ndo hiyo mmea iweze kuchipuka kutoka kwa media. You should really check on that phase because it's the most delicate phase.
Okay.
Alafu sasa cleaning the areas around. We start with the trays. You have to disinfect the trays first kabla uweke the media. Ndio isikue the previous crop ilikuwa na magonjwa ukatransfer to the next crop. So first we clean the trays, we disinfect them. Then we make sure every visitor who enters the greenhouse is well sanitized, has the right attire ama protective clothing. We also do weeding. Yeah.
Right. So let's come to the diseases and pests that affect the tomato, because I believe such a plant cannot miss that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to pests and diseases, what have you been able to encounter, and how did you come out of that?
For the pests, most especially we have the white flies, we have aphids, we have spider mites. Yeah, those are the common pests here. For that, we use pesticides to control them. We do them even way before we notice there is a pest. That is called the preventive. Before you notice, because when you notice, it says that already the plant is too affected to survive. But you can still control when the numbers are small.
Okay.
So for the diseases, we have blight. You can see some of the tomatoes have blight. We have also the down. You can see they will start wilting. We also have sana ni early blight kwa nursery. Juu nje ndo sasa tutapata the late blight.
So the blight, what does that mean?
Blight ni kama utaona majani yako imeanza kuchomeka, stem pia inakaa brown. Yeah, that's when you'll notice kuna blight imeingia.
Okay. So in order for you to evade or not to get these diseases or the pests that affect them, how do you protect your greenhouse, and how does a farmer make sure that this disease does not spread across the whole, because you know it's a greenhouse, so you'll find if it starts on this corner, by the time you're finishing maybe 1 week,
Yeah.
it's maybe on the other side.
Okay.
How does a farmer do that?
So blight mostly inakosiwa na baridi. Hiyo msimu ya baridi. So what we do, kukiwa na baridi, tuna pull down the roll-ups. Ndo baridi isiingie. Alafu pia we avoid watering so late in the evenings. Juu sasa ikilala na maji, pia ita affect the plant. Whatever we do to prevent it, we do a routine. Every week we have to spray a fungicide to control blight. And we alternate. We have different varieties which we alternate from week to week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if a farmer is not able to get the fungicide that you have, or the fungicide that maybe you would recommend, what else can they use? A natural way of maybe keeping the pests and diseases away?
Okay, the natural ways, you ensure cleanliness. Wenye wanakuja kwa shamba, wasikiwa wametoka kwa shamba ingine juu contact pia inafanya magonjwa spread haraka. Pia unazuia baridi isiingie kwa mimea zako.
All right, thank you for that. Now, let's go and look at, you have your seedling, you've watered it very well, it has come to the 4th week, and it's now time to, you know, transplant it now into the farm. What is the process of, what shows you that this particular seedling is mature enough to be transplanted now to the other side?
So for the tomatoes, we check on the roots. The root system is strong. It has good roots. We can also check the stem. It's thick. Pia majani yake inafaa kuwa green. Haifai kukuwa na any blemish ama itoke bila hii root system. Hiyo haita perform vizuri.
Okay.
So inafaa itoke ikiwa hivi. Ikuwe well hardened that hadi ukibend it can't break.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. All right. And another thing about this, this is the pencil shape that you are talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, when you find that it's the 4th week and your seedling is not maybe
This thick.
is not this big, or it is here, yet it's the 4th week, what does this tell a farmer?
So that tells a farmer that you have not been doing proper care ama management of your seedlings. Because if you don't apply, if you skip the foliars, you skip the watering, inafaa kuwa na folia, maji, madawa zimepigwa vizuri, na pia hardening. Usipo harden, usipo expose to harsh conditions, haitakuwa well hardened kusurvive nje.
Okay.
So it will not be this big. Yeah.
All right, and still on this, before you even move, now, when it comes to transplanting, you carry everything that is here, right?
Yeah.
So, what if the soil that you are going to place this in is not the same media as what you have here? Because the media that we have here is composed of this media.
Oh, it's called Netia Grow. It's just a mixture of inert compounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this media, is it a big factor when it comes to transplanting?
Yeah, it's a factor because, for example, our media is inert. So that means that it is soil borne, haina zile magonjwa za soil. So the performance will be better than if it is the normal soil. But you can also use the normal soil, but when you're transplanting, make sure you scoop the media ama the soil ikiwa a mass kwa root. That's why we encourage watering before the transplanting.
Okay. So what does a successful seedling, tomato seedling tray look like? And what color is it supposed to be?
A successful tomato seedling tray, when you look at it, it has to have maybe 90% germination. So inafaa kuwa very green. Ukichomoa seedling yako inafaa itoke effortlessly. Pia zote mingi zinafaa kuwa zimegerminate. Haufai kuwa na spaces mingi huko katikati.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to still the germination, ukipata side moja ndio imegerminate na hiyo side nyingine haijagerminate, is this dependent on the seed that you put there, or maybe that side the water? Because first of all, what type of watering system do you use? Do you use the sprinkling or
We do sprinkling. So ukipata maybe side moja haijagerminate, hiyo it raises a lot of alarm because maybe the people you put there didn't water well.
that side?
Yeah, because when you don't water the seeds, without warmth, without water and oxygen, the seeds can't germinate from the media.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And now, when you've removed the seedling, you are now in the process of taking it to the shamba. What should a farmer focus on or look at? Because sometimes maybe during the transplanting, the process, it can break. It might, maybe lose the
media.
The media, because these things are very delicate.
Yeah.
They're not as hard as maybe you would think. So what happens during the transportation? Because now that you're moving it from here to the shamba.
Okay, we ensure that our boxes are tight. Our boxes are usually tight. We put polythene on the bottom to ensure that if there is any leakages, it will be protected. We also ensure that the seedlings we are giving the farmer are well hardened, because if it's not well hardened, it will break. Definitely it'll break. Alafu media, kama iko well hardened, haiwezi toka. Kama hii sasa inatoka. This means that the seedling is not well hardened.
Okay.
Yeah, because the strong root system means that a seedling is well hardened and ready to transplant to the farm.
So, as we look at the tray, there is of course a size in which every hole is, and there is the spacing, because you said 400 spaces, right?
442.
442. Oh, those are many. So like we can say here we have thousands.
Yeah, we have
thousands.
thousands.
And thousands.
Yeah.
So what really informs the spacing within every tray? What goes into the spacing? Because I can see they've been spaced, and actually the seedlings are growing very well. Yes. So what informs the spacing? Ni nini inakufanya wewe kama farmer unasema hii space itatoshana hivi, hii ingine itatoshana hivi na hii ingine?
Spacing basically ni the manufacturer who produces the trays. So akituprovidea is easy. Tunaweza tumia pila za 200, but these ones, the white trays are better because they have a better germination percentage, yeah, compared to the others.
Okay.
Yeah, and most farmers also prefer these trays.
And if a farmer at home is not able to get these trays, what would you advise them to use as an alternative? If they can't get the plastic ones, they can't get these ones, what can you advise them to use instead?
Okay, there are also the ground ones, the traditional ways of raising seedlings. You raise a nursery bed and then you put your seedlings there. You can also recycle maybe plastic containers and put your seeds. And then you'll be able to transplant it well with a mass of media. Yeah, that one will be more easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you as a farmer dealing with the tomato seedlings, what are some of the challenges that you've been able to encounter since you started doing this tomato seedling farming up to now?
Some of the challenges are there, which include pests, diseases, but we control them. Alafu kuna external, kama maybe farmer hawezi fika bei juu sasa bei ya nyanya iko juu. Unapata sometimes wao wakiuza low hawataweza kukujia seedlings. So pia hiyo una consider, una make it more streamlined to fit their pocket.
Right. And edging closer to the end of this conversation, let's look at how farmers can do this right, because you've been doing it, I believe. So what would you tell a farmer? How to process of doing this tomato seedling, right? So that at the end of the day, they might have, they have a tray that looks like this.
I always say consult, consult, consult. Usiwahi ogopa kuconsult ndio upate the right program. You can ask around. For us, we offer free consultancies. So ukiongea na sisi tutakupea program ya kufuata until, na pia unaweza piga simu uulize until your seedling is in the right stage ya kutransplant. Yeah.
Okay. And now that you're speaking about that, where can maybe farmers at home find you? Are you on social media? Yes.
Yeah, we are on social media at Zion Seedlings on all platforms. Yeah.
Okay.
Me Twitter, we are on Facebook, TikTok. Yeah.
Nice. So you're a young person doing farming,
Yeah.
seedling farming.
Yeah.
What would you encourage young people out there to do who are maybe trying to get into this?
Okay, farming is not ushamba. Wajitume, pia iko na pesa. Si mbaya, hata uchafuki. Ukitumia media, sika soil, kutakuwa good.
All right, you've heard it from Alice. Today we've been learning about seedling propagation. We've looked at onions and we've looked at tomato and what you as a farmer need to do at home. We've learned a lot of things when it comes to the process, how you need to plant your seeds on the different spaces that are there. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're thriving and you also have a better crop at the end of the day or plant. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. We've come to the end of this edition of Farm Kenya Today. Join us next time, same place, right here on KTN.
Kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa mkulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kuulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja.